Hey everybody! So today I am popping in here and I want to talk about the time management in every phase of your business because it is key and it is super important. Now, who is this for? This is for you. This is for the full-time women who work outside their home. This is for the full-time mommies who work inside their home. And this is also for the full-time entrepreneurs who work non-stop. Again, I want to tell you guys that this is for you, okay? Over the last few months, I've been asked several times on my time management, back when I worked full-time. Because for those of you that don't know, I did work full-time. I worked full-time in corporate the whole first year that I was with Keller Street. And now that I'm home, I'm asked all the time, how did I do it? What are some time management tips? And I nearly, totally shrug off the question, normally. Okay, I felt stalled and that I could never come up with the tried and true ways that I actually managed my time back then. I realized this morning with my time with God, the answer. I managed it, but it's one thing in my life that I didn't manage very well. And though I managed better than I give myself credit for. I was a full-time corporate America junkie. I always sought more. I could never define more, but I always wanted more. A full-time wife and mother. I sacrificed more time for the vision of a side hustle because I believed in the vision of time and financial peace as I do today, as I coach you guys to embrace today. I also knew that if I did it consistently for a short period, what others only do occasionally, that I would be able to do what they wouldn't be able to do in the long run. I've put together today about 10 things that I did consistently, and those 10 things I've refined to fit the various walks of life for those on our team and in the side hustle, because it's how my life has changed over the past 6 months, and I hope that this helps you. So I'm gonna get started here. And I have it all noted here. So if you see me looking down, it's because I wanna keep on track, okay? So the 10 things that I find everybody needs to embrace starting today, moving forward for time management. And it doesn't matter which phase of your business that you're in. This is time management across the board, okay? The first and most important thing is I truly feel that you have to clear your workspace. I'm a very organized and meticulous person. I'm the kind of person that knows where things are and I know if they've been moved. I don't know if you guys can identify, but that's how I am. When I walked into my office, when I first started working at home, it was scattered. I had put stuff on the corner. I had put stuff in front of me, in front of my computer, and it was so disorganized and my mind became scattered. So I always say that clearing the workspace is the #1 priority because you need a clear and defined workspace for you to be able to focus so that your mind doesn't stay scattered, okay? It was important to me, and it should be important to you, to work in a space that's clear of clutter so that your mind is free for productivity. So today, if you're feeling cluttered like I was, take a picture, turn on your jam, and get it done, okay? #2, clearly define your mission, your vision, your goals, and your objections for your life, your business, your health, your family, and everything else that's important to you. It's likely going to be the hardest task that I'm going to talk about today, and that's okay. First, I want you to know your vision, and I want you to know it well, but I also want you to embrace that when it comes to work on your projects and your tasks and not your goals. Because essentially the goals will come to fruition as the projects are accomplished, okay? #3, dig deep and determine if you are the kind of person that needs a schedule or you're the kind of person that needs a routine. And this was life-changing for me. Here I was in corporate America thinking that when I left, I was so scared and so frightful and so full of fear for my future because I had been a schedule girl for the last 15 years, right? You think, okay, I work 9 to 5, I show up at 9, I do this, I do this, I do this, right? Here I was thinking, when I stepped out of corporate America to work for myself, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss the schedule. Turns out, I actually love a routine. And it's the beauty of the flexibility. So you decide if you need the schedule or if you actually need the routine. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Do you actually need to do something from 9 to 9:15? Or is it okay if that same thing gets done over the course of 3 hours? Okay? That's the difference between schedule and routine. Here I was thinking I was that schedule girl for the last 15 years, but when I stepped away, I realized I'm a routine girl. I set aside 3 days a week for 6.5 hours each day, and that is a routine to run my business and my routine in those 6.5 hours. It's having a list and getting things done in any order, so long as they're finished in the 6.5 hours. I want you to figure out what your ideal day is and what it looks like to you. Have a daily theme if that's important to you, and it will help you be productive, okay? Number 4, remove distractions. Do you struggle with scrolling? Me, I'm guilty. I struggle with scrolling. I work Instagram just like I work Facebook. So I'm constantly involved in social media, and I'm constantly trying to keep up with people because it's life, and I love seeing how others are living their life, right? But you get stuck in that daily scrolling. I know the feeling. I know that most of you are probably doing it. So here's something that I did recently. I used my Chrome browser on my MacBook. I log into Facebook, and on a second tab in your Chrome browser, type in Kill News Feed, okay? It's a Chrome extension in the extension web store, and add it to Chrome. Just add the extension to Chrome. During your work time, that we're gonna get to in just a few minutes, enable the Kill the News Feed extension so that you're focused and intentional with the time. Trust me, it's a game changer, okay? Number 5, use blocks of time and batching. Block off 50 minutes maximum at a time, because that's the most that your body can actually like mentally focus, okay? So block off a maximum of 50 minutes at a time, and then take a 5-minute break before moving on to the next project. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, how does this fit with me? Okay, so here we go. If you work full time, I am going to tell you that I had a 55-mile commute. That was often an hour and 15-minute drive. And in that time, that's when I would catch up on every single thing that I needed to be caught up on, okay? If you work full time, you need to maximize your commute, your breaks, and your lunch breaks. You should know that you're entitled to 2 15-minute breaks. At least you are in the state of Missouri, okay? So make sure that you know what you're entitled to as far as work breaks, and then take use of those, maximize those, okay? And make sure that you're maximizing your lunch break. Listen to trainings on the road. If you get a 30-minute lunch, find somewhere away from your desk, okay? Because if you're at your desk, you can get distracted. People will see you sitting there. They want to ask you questions, okay? Find somewhere away from your desk, plug in your headphones, and catch up on the previous day's trainings or opportunities, because those are important. Also, this is when you would schedule your coaching calls with your leader, just as I did with CJ for mine, okay? I took advantage and I maximized CJ's coaching time, which happened to be during the day. Now, for most of you working full-time, you're thinking, well, great, I'm never going to get a coaching call because Shanah only works from 10:30 to 4 p.m. and I don't get off until 4:30, or I don't get home until 6, or, you know, vice versa. Here's the thing. CJ was the very same way with me. She knew her office hours. She stuck to her office hours. She earned her office hours, okay? And it's the same way for me. So if you have a lunchtime, if you have a break time, if you have that commute to and from your house and it happens to be in my work hours, then that's when we talk and you fit it in because it's a priority for your business, okay? If you're a stay-at-home mom who works full-time with your kiddos, create the quiet time or the breaks. What I've found with balance in my personal life is that it's not something I can find. It's something I have to create. That means that you may have to take the nap times, you may have to take the early morning stillness, and you may have to take the evenings to get to you, okay? If you're the full-time entrepreneur whose mind never stops like me, stick tight to the batching, turn off the noise frequencies. Those examples could be notifications, they could be dings, texts, do not disturb. Turn the do not disturb on. Trust me, it has truly saved my life over the last 3 months, okay? Brainstorm as the ideas come to a single safe place. The thing that I've been using right now is Google Docs because it saves live and it saves any changes that I make. That way, in case I walk away or I become distracted or my phone happens to ring at the other end of the house, I know that I can come back to it and it's been saved. I haven't lost any progress. So I would encourage you guys to use that too, okay? Number 6, know ahead of time what you're working on. Every evening before you walk out of your office or before you get up to go to bed or to go take a shower, or even in the mornings before you start your day, you make this list, you go on with your day, and then at night you come back to that list, okay? Know ahead of time of what you're working on. I want to encourage you to make a list of the top 3 to 6 things max, so max is 6, okay? I want you to make a list of these things each day so that when you complete them, you feel a sense of accomplishment for your schedule and routine. Then I want you to sort and reorder them in the way of your big picture goal, okay, your big vision, and make sure that a few of them are income producing activities. They may not all have to be about your business. They may not all have to be income producing activities, but make sure there are a couple income producing activities, okay? Number 7, work your strengths versus what you hate to do and outsource the things you absolutely find yourself hating. This is going to boost the longevity of what you're passionate about and keep you jumping out of bed every single day, okay? An example is if you actually host 8 parties a month and you hate that it takes 45 minutes per party to pre-schedule the posts in the group, use a platform like Post My Party, Visly, Share type programs where you create a party template in the same amount of time, but that one-time party template can be applied to all group parties going forward, okay? Now, the key here is to give your hostess and the party attendees the same quality of attention that you would as if you were posting at the time of the party, okay? You cannot slack off on the one-on-one connections because that is what your business is foundationed upon, okay? Number 8, work your prime office hours so that you're giving 100% to what you're working on. First one, if you're a full-time woman working outside the home and find that you are most alert in the mornings before you start work, then maybe that means, and maybe that can be to you, rising an hour earlier and giving your business the same effort you give working on someone else's dream. It sounds harsh, right? But here's the thing. I did it for 15 years, and I know it to be true. I worked really hard, you guys, for that 2% raise every single year. 2% raise can be a matter of dollars. If you commit to the same type of effort into your own business, even in an hour carved out of your day, you can earn thousands and hundreds and several more dollars than a couple dollars in that 2% raise every year, okay? You can control whether you earn a 2% raise this month, or you can control whether you make a 6% raise next month, and you can double your income and you have control of that, okay? So why not give more effort or just as much effort to your passion and your business as you do working outside of your home, right? Because I did it. It sounds harsh, but it's true. If you're a full-time mommy taking care of the kiddos and you find that you're far too exhausted at night to work late into the evenings, rise before your kiddos do. Pre-schedule your posts for your parties to remove the big-time energy suck it may take to post in a party and be present, but make sure that you're still in tune with the people instead of the posts, okay? If you're a full-time entrepreneur like myself, you have to take the time in the beginning to discover the hours that your body rises and it falls without an alarm. It sounds funny, but it's true. I've known that I'm not a morning person for years, y'all. I would show up to work early morning. I had an hour and 15-minute long commute, and I knew that I wasn't a morning time. Nobody talked to me in the mornings because I just can't function yet, okay? So I had to figure out when my body naturally rose and when my body naturally was tired and would go to sleep, okay? I now rise when I'm 100% awake, and that's usually around 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning. I go to sleep with my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I never see your messages. I have them turned off, okay, until I'm alert, awake, and you get 100% of me, okay? My hours, my working hours are strategically 10:30 to 4 p.m. because those are prime focus hours, and I do that 3 days a week. I sleep in, I don't wake with a start, I don't wake with an alarm, and I get dressed as if I work outside my home because that was a commitment I made to myself. I dress for success, and I batch my time based on my to-do list. I've also outsourced all the things that I dislike or I choose not to spend my 20 hours per week doing, okay? You should too. That doesn't mean you have to go out and hire an assistant if that's not what it looks like to you. That could mean having your kiddos help put things in envelopes for you so you get it done faster and you're not doing it all yourself. Or having one of your kiddos, if you have older kiddos, having them write those thank you cards to you, having them shove a catalog in an envelope for you, okay? So make sure that you outsource. And again, if that means that you're using Post My Party, or you're using Share, or you're using a similar program to take the time initially to create a template for your parties, and then letting that program run your parties, then so be it. Because it keeps you passionately involved with the people, and that's how your business grows, okay? Number 9, calendar block. If you're going to work your prime hours that you're awake, alert, and giving people 100%, you must block your calendar. Use a planner or a calendar and 3 highlighters or pens to block off the boxes, or just use a different ink for the categories. I personally use purple for team trainings and events. An example could be Team Zoom, Freedom Chats, Newbie Zooms, weekly Q&As, regional trainings that are coming up, conference, etc. Okay? I use green on the days that I party or do events because green equals money. Okay? I also use red on the days that are off limits for Color Street and even for social media. Sundays are certainly my day off with my family. And my miscellaneous appointments, I plan out of my office on Wednesdays and Thursdays because it gives me time outside of my office, outside of my home, because that's important to me, okay? The last and final tip that I have for you for time management is number 10. When you're working, work. Send the booking asks. Offer the opportunity. Commit to the follow-up system, the 2-2-2 follow-up rule. Catch the replays because those are important. If somebody took the time to go live to do a training, or to ask somebody else to go live and do a training, or they've posted a YouTube video or an MP3 clip that you can listen to, those are important. But almost just as important as that is to take notes. I've always been a note taker, and I know that not everybody is, but I want to encourage you guys that when you're catching the replays, you take the notes, because when you write things, you remember. If you want to remember even more, do it with purple ink, okay? Because purple is attributed to the mind of remembering, okay? So take the notes and mail the stuff. Do all the things, okay? But make sure that when you're working, you are focused and you are intentional with your time, because your time and productivity is important in this business. So I hope that this helped you guys. Like I said, I have been asked numerous times over the last few months how I did it before, how I do it now, and it's been an adjustment. And I'm not going to tell you that everything is roses and daisies, okay? But it's been an adjustment. I stick to these things. I've realized that I did them before and I do them now, just in a different way, okay? When I was working for someone else's dream and really hard for that 2% raise every year in corporate America as a corporate junkie just wanting to climb the ladder, it was not as important for me to do some of these things, okay? Or maybe I did them differently. And I didn't have time then to think about all the ideas for my business, okay? I had to let other people drum up ideas and inspiration for me, all right? But now that I'm home, my mind never stops. So it's a completely different thing as an entrepreneur, you guys. And I never understood the way my parents worked tirelessly for hours and hours and hours a day of their life, and they're tired and wore out now that they're not in business for themselves. But I could never understand it when I was younger. And now, as I go through coaching with Sarah Marie, and I come to terms with who I am now, and what I do consistently, and what are the things I love, what are the things I hate, and what are the things that I just need to get off my plate and give to somebody else, I realized that my mind never stops thinking about how I can lead you guys better, how I can be a better and stronger example, how I can be influential versus an influencer, okay? And those are all things that my mind is tirelessly running around with, okay? So I hope that this helped you guys. I know it was a pop-in live and that some of you guys are going to catch this replay, but I hope that the replay is just as important to you as catching this live and you took notes for this entire video. So I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week and a great weekend, and I will see y'all later.